everybody? I'm Greg T. Welcome aboard to Greg T Live as we do our podcast today, live, as usual, from the Catena beautiful Mercedes-Benz showroom right here in Edison, New Jersey on Route 1. We've got an amazing show planned for you guys. Of course, I'm Greg T.
Hello.
This is Garrett.
Yes.
What's up, bro?
Hey, T. Look at this. We've been here for 3 weeks, and they're already building us a studio over there at Catena.
So, yeah, behind us, to the side, they're redoing the entire showroom here at Catena Mercedes-Benz. And so the head contractor came over. And I love, I love meeting the head contractors. He's like, so, hey, how you doing? Who's Greg T around here? And I'm like, hi, that's me. And he goes, so we hear you doing a podcast here. So, we're working over there. We're going to try to keep it down a little bit. And, what time you think you'll be done with this? Like, he's like, whatever. Anyway, all right, so listen, on today's show, this is going to be great. We've got two amazing guests with us today. One guy, super funny. He's a comedian. His name is Joey Fernandes, and he's going to be at Primetime Comedy Club in East Windsor this coming Friday, so he'll be here.
He's not just a comedian.
Yeah.
He's a connection to your past.
He is a connection to my past, and I'm very reluctant in doing this, but... yeah, we'll have some fun. We're going to have some fun. We're going to tell some stories. I don't want to give out too much right now. But yeah, so me and him go way back. And then I'm really excited for the second guest today. Today's second guest is just amazing. If you really think about it, he's the Emmy Award-winning news broadcaster, Ernie Anastos, will be here. Ernie Anastos was on ABC, CBS.
Locally here, yeah.
Right, Fox 5. Now he does ABC Radio, and he also does Positively America, so we're going to talk to him all about that. That's pretty cool.
For me, growing up,
Yeah.
this is a newscaster where, like, my parents had, Walter Cronkite.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Ernie Anastos is that level for me, myself, growing up, and he was the guy delivering the news, and now to have him here just...
Right. I agree.
There's him, then there's us.
Yeah, listen, 100%, I think that you're right. For many people that don't know Ernie, and they're like, who is that? Then we got an amazing story to tell you all about him. But those that do, honestly, they're going to be the same way. They're almost like, oh my God, Ernie Anastos. And you're right, it's a great comparison to Walter Cronkite.
So we're here, week 3.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to notice a little stuff around here. It's not just papers and junk anymore.
No, things are rolling, man. First of all,
what are you doing? Who are you talking to?
Well, I will let you in on everything. First things first, let's do it. It is our very first giveaway of the day. Let's go. All right, so, again, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to Greg T Live, at Greg T Live on Instagram, and I want you to drop me a message, these 4 letters, NXGN.
NXGN.
All right, it is for the Next Gen Arena in Edgewater, New Jersey, and I've got 2 more $50 gift cards to give away. So again, you'll be randomly selected, and then this Thursday I'll make the announcement for NXGN, the arena in Edgewater, New Jersey. Honestly, fantastic, and I'm super excited to give that away. You guys are going to love that.
How does the contest work? I mean, because it was the first time, like,
it worked well.
You're literally doing everything.
I have a one-man show. I'm the guy with, like, the cymbals.
Dance monkey.
I have the harmonica. Ding, ding, ding.
Not only do you find the place to do a contest with,
right?
You then come on the podcast to give it away.
Yeah.
Then you also ship it out as well.
I swear, you're absolutely correct. I had to figure out a way. I'm like, how do I get around these shipping costs? Because now I have to send that out. And also, I'm also going to give away 2 more Greg T Live t-shirts. Alongside of that, though, we got a major announcement. We've got a drink of the show.
Drink of the show.
Arizona iced tea. They have come aboard, and we've got an Arizona iced tea prize pack to give away. So not only will I send you out the 2 t-shirts, but I'm also going to send you out a Arizona iced tea prize pack with that as well.
You know what's funny? You know how Netflix recently just up there, they said, hey, our prices are going up. You're going to have to pay like almost $100 a month to stay with us.
Yeah.
Do you realize Arizona iced tea, for as long as it's been around, has cost the same since the inception of Arizona iced tea?
So funny.
99 cents.
I don't know how they do it. Like, they do it, they keep it at 99 cents. Like, Costco does that with their hot dog special, where they keep it at like $1.50.
Costco hot dogs right now.
No, we're not. So, funny story. I actually had the privilege, the honor of going out to Long Island, where Arizona Iced Tea is. They have their headquarters. Sat down and had lunch with the owner of Arizona Iced Tea.
Which is weird because you think like Arizona Iced Tea, why would they serve lunch?
Wait.
It should just be sit down and have some iced tea.
Bro, we sat down and had lunch. He has designed the entire building is an Arizona Iced Tea building.
Unless all the lunch is like infused with Arizona Iced Tea.
We had people like, he has it catered every day. Every day. It's in his office. So
you went to the Willy Wonka of drinks.
Absolutely amazing, blown away, and to sit there and have the privilege of talking to a billionaire, the Arizona Iced Tea owner is a billionaire, to pick his brain about what we should do with the podcast and what I should do with where to go. And
think about that. He's a billionaire.
His two sons were giving us ideas,
and he sells iced tea for 99 cents. Do the math. Here's the thing you want to say. You always want to be able to give back to the community, and he does. Keeps at 99 cents, and that's his way of giving back. Not just the community, the world. I mean, you want to do the math?
No, please.
How many Arizona iced teas would you have to sell to hit $1 billion?
Bro, I mean, well, if it's 99 cents, you're going to sell
you're
a billion. I mean, it's $1 billion. You're selling a billion of them to make $1 billion. It is what it is. Hey, also, we have to stop down and say thank you. We're going to bring him on in a couple of weeks. So I was lucky enough to meet this kid. He is an entrepreneur. He's
Where are
15.
you meeting all these people?
Well, dude, without a job, I get to go out there and meet a lot of people. It's all through Where to Go. Check us out at Where to Go, at WHERTAGO, Where to Go. And if you're interested, I'd love to represent your small business on Where to Go. So he runs a small business himself. He's 15 years old, and his name is Lou, and he runs Lou's Brew. So Lou's Brew, it's in some of your shopping markets, and he is a 15-year-old entrepreneur, and right now he is in school, so that's why he can't be a guest. Yeah. But the next day he doesn't have school. He's going to come in, and we are going to talk to him today. Talk to him in a couple of weeks and ask him how he got Lou's Brew started. If you go to Where to Go, you can actually look at the video and watch me and him hanging out. It was so great.
Imagine. Yeah, I was waiting for you to go.
Yeah.
He's 15 years old. He's a billionaire as well.
No.
And it's like you're hanging out with all these billionaires, and then there's us.
Only one billionaire. Only the Arizona Iced Tea guy.
Yet.
Right. But Lou's Brew, he's got a really amazing story, too. He comes from a lineage of family members that have owned their own small businesses. So they kind of like taught him how to do this. And then he ran with it. And now he's got Lou's Brew. And it's in shopping markets all over New Jersey. And then they just now branched into Philadelphia. So you can find Lou's Brew even in Pennsylvania, which is great. So I'm going to bring him in. I can't wait.
Hey, what about the Eagles? Yeah,
dude,
Eagles.
Can you do the Eagles chant? Like, you remember how the mayor didn't get it right?
Yeah.
What did she say? EAGLSES?
Yeah,
something like that, right?
Something like that, yeah.
So I'm thinking like, when I went to college, I had a lot of fraternity brothers, and they were from the southern part of Jersey, and they were all Eagle fans.
Right.
And on Sundays, dude, it was nothing but Eagle chants all day long on Sundays.
So the Eagles and the Chiefs going back to the Super Bowl, a repeat of 2 years ago.
Right.
As a local New York fan, I'm a Giant fan at heart.
Yeah.
You became one by chance because you were sick of cheering for the Cowboys. And
I'm not a Cowboy fan, no.
You literally asked me, who do I root for? And all of a sudden you
Go
became
Blue.
You became a Giant fan.
Giants.
You wanted to raise your daughters without being disappointed. And those are your words, not mine.
Back in the day when the Cowboys were great, you couldn't get away from rooting for the Cowboys.
Right.
So I did grow up as a little young Cowboy fan.
Yes.
And then my whole family was all Giants fans. So they were like, how could you possibly be a Dallas Cowboy fan? But, when you're a kid, you got all your friends.
Right, like all the kids are Kansas
they're all
City
Cowboy
Chiefs.
fans.
They're all Chiefs fans right now.
Yes. So I became a Cowboy fan. But then as I had daughters and I wanted to raise them fans of the local sports teams, I just said, listen, you're never going to root for the Dallas Cowboys like I did.
Right.
I'm not going to make you do that.
So you became a Giants fan.
So we became Giants fans. Go Blue. Go Blue.
But even so, I think as much as two things.
Yeah.
I want to see Saquon Barkley win a championship. I think that would be pretty cool as a Giant fan rooting for an Eagle fan. But
I agree with you there.
On the other side, there's moments in history where you don't realize you're living through something special until after the fact. For the Kansas City Chiefs to possibly win 3 Super Bowls in a row it's one of those things that it becomes a trivia question.
What's the odds-on favorite now? I didn't go to.
I couldn't tell you.
I didn't go to any of the betting apps today, but I want to know what the spread is. I'm sure the Chiefs are favored, right? You would imagine.
You'd think so, but
but it's close. I mean, look, the Eagles are nothing to sleep on. The Eagles are. They're a great team.
But think about it. We could be living through something, a dynasty. 3 years in a row, the same team. Everybody, I don't want to see it. Taylor Swift, the Chiefs would. But at the end of the day, we are watching something that people will talk about forever. We're living through it.
Listen, are we talking sports? We're talking sports here now. You want to give us a call right now? Call us on the hotline. We're talking sports.
We don't have the hotline.
We don't have a hotline. Listen, I think it really is exciting. At least I think I'm going to enjoy the game. I think they're two strong teams. The Commanders, what a great season they had, but I think it'll be a good Super Bowl. One more person to stop down and thank. Abate Bakery is here, and you guys can't see it right now, but they have catered breakfast for us. So when we're done, we get to go and have some Lou's Brew and some Abate Bakery. I saw some of the
donuts.
Dude, more than that, there's some egg sandwiches there. First of all, Abate Bakery is one of the most iconic bakeries in New Jersey, and they are in Matawan, New Jersey.
Has Springsteen been there?
I don't know. So the owner of Abate Bakery came here from Italy, started right there in Brooklyn, in a little tiny shop, grew up above the bakery, and then when he had enough and he wanted to move, he moved his family to Jersey, found a little house in Matawan, New Jersey, opened up a little shop, and that little shop has been there for a billion years.
Would you get sick of, if you lived above a bakery?
How could you not? It smells so beautiful.
Would you eventually get sick of it because you smell it it almost becomes like normal air?
I don't think so.
It's normal air.
I think I would enjoy it.
I think I would eventually get tired of smelling the cookies every day.
I don't know how you could. I guess, listen, I worked in a gas station as a kid growing up. I still love the smell of gasoline.
Really?
I do. It doesn't make me sick. I still love smelling gasoline. I worked at Wendy's. I flipped burgers at Wendy's when I was a kid. Still go to Wendy's and still love my burgers. I will. All right, so anyway, we got all the thanks out of the way. We've got everything done. And you wanted to talk about what happened with you with the cell phone over the weekend. I want to get into that.
Yeah.
I do. I want to get into all that. Do you know we still have not gotten into what I saw up in the sky, with all the drone talk?
You are an alien believer.
You've got it. I have pictures. I'm going to show you at the end. At the end of the show, stick around, guys. At the end of the show, I want to catch up and I want to show you the images of what I...
Here, do it.
You got to see it. No, I can't do it right now
because this is what happens.
I want to bring on our first guest.
I know, but we'll bring our guest on. But for the last 2 weeks, now 3, you go. I got to show you this, guys. I got to show you.
You're right. It is.
I got to show you this. Almost to the fact where it doesn't exist.
Because all of a sudden, me and you start talking, and then the whole show just.
That's why I'm saying, do it now.
Are we best friends? Are we best friends?
I think so.
We're best friends.
I think so.
What movie is that from?
Step Brothers.
Yes, there you go.
Did we just become best friends?
Did we just become best friends?
Yes.
Did we just become best friends? We did. All right. So I will show you all the pictures, but really, I want to wait because I want to just bring him in. So here's the deal, guys. Check this out. All right. So this coming Friday night at Prime Time Comedy Club. All right. It's brand new comedy club. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8 o'clock. It is in the kitchen bar. No. Oh my God, the Americana Kitchen and Bar. It's in the back in East Windsor, New Jersey. I'm going to bring him out right now, and we're going to have some fun and really tell you some amazing stories. Ladies and gentlemen, comedian Joey Fernandes is here with us today. Nice job. This is
two people clapping.
I was just going to say, 2 people clapping. 2 people clapping. 2 people clapping.
A bunch of people looking at us while we're
2 people clapping. 2 people clapping. What's up? Joey Fernandes.
Oh my God, Greg T.
I can't, I'll move over a little bit as well. Let me get, camera guys, we're good? What you guys also can't see is I have a whole entire camera crew back here, and they're all like moving us around. Are you surprised at all the people that are working this?
I'm very impressed now. I gotta say,
this all happened overnight. I swear.
3 weeks. This has all come together
in 3 weeks. So let me tell Garrett. So Garrett, so Joe Fernandes and I, we go way back to when I was a kid in high school. I mean, me and your brother have been. First of all, his brother is my age. Went to school with his brother, so I've known him forever. And then, as Joe got older and got more talented with instruments, we were in a rock band together.
Yeah, I think we played at least one gig.
Oh wait, we did. We played a party. Remember that? We played a party.
You did play a party?
Yes, we did.
That was the
Who was drunk enough to book you?
I swear we did. We played at a party. I think, you know what her name? I know. after all these years, Erica Seligman. That is her name.
Yeah.
Erica Seligman. That was her name. We played at her party. Her parents were away for the weekend, and she threw a party. She threw a party, and she needed some entertainment, and we were the band.
Yeah, we practiced for like months.
Yes, we did.
Played one gig, and we're like, we can do this again? Probably not.
That was it. That was it.
The shortest lived band I've ever been in.
I don't know if he had this special power growing up, but Greg T has this incredible thing that not a man nor a child, if you were a female in his life, he will know your first and last name.
I do
it's
best
almost,
I can.
It's almost like who was your first kiss?
Laura Zemak.
See?
Whoa.
My neighbor. She was my neighbor. She was my neighbor.
You went real far for that
Right,
kiss.
we were playing Manhunt. We were playing Manhunt, and I leaned in for that kiss. I was like, you know what? We're back here behind the bushes. No one can find us. I'm like, I'm doing it.
Who'd you take
That's
out?
problematic these days. You can't invite your neighbor for manhunt and get a kiss.
Who was your first date?
First real date?
Just a first date, whatever.
First date.
Who was your last date then, if you can't remember?
You know
Before
what?
Trish.
I'm going to say my first date, I think, was Sierra Knaus. Who lives in Tennessee now. She was my first date, and she was
we're
my
on
prom
stalker
date.
level.
She was my prom date. She was my prom date and my first date. Who was your first date?
My first kiss, actually.
Don't even say my sister. I'm
No,
punching you right
please.
now.
Please.
I'm punching you
Please
right
say
now.
sister.
True story,
Please.
dude. He had a crush on my sister when they were so little.
I mean, it was like
Which
first
sister?
grade. I mean, what
Which sister?
Stacy. Had a first. All right,
well,
so
she was like
again,
the only blonde in school. She looked different. You're like,
that's
I like
right.
her.
That's right.
know?
You guys
First
were in
grade.
kindergarten together, first grade, second grade, and we all grew up together.
Yeah.
Unreal,
My
man.
first kiss was Karen Kaplan.
I know Karen Kaplan. She was in my grade.
I used to walk to her house. I'd be like, "Can we kiss?" She's like, "Okay," and she'd kiss me, and I'd walk home.
You wanna play
It
manhunt?
was like the easiest date I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
knock.
Now
Karen
look at you
Kaplan.
two.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I didn't invite her for manhunt in the woods. Want to come play manhunt? Who's playing? Just me and you.
That sounds like such an NBC Dateline
And
story.
if I catch you, I get to kiss you.
Okay. I mean, listen. I mean, it is what it is. At the time, that's what it was. All right. So, Joe, tell me now.
Awkwardly moving on.
Here's the thing, though. So, Joe and I, we're raised in East Brunswick. Are your parents still living there in East Brunswick?
Yeah, my mother does. Yeah,
Same house?
same house.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Well, I guess I have my parents still too. So my mom and dad are still in East Brunswick as well.
Same place.
Same. You know, I'm gonna say yeah. And what's the big thing? Your parents, my parents, they never left East Brunswick.
I left right away.
Yeah.
Right when I got old enough. I'm like, I'm
And
out.
so there we are, growing up together. And then yes, might as well get it out of the way. So we were in a rock band for a little bit.
Yeah. I remember you guys hit me up about being in this rock band.
Joe was an amazing guitarist at that age. He could play, man. He could play.
Yeah, I
And what
was.
happened to you? You were the singer.
I was the singer, dude. No, we didn't have a singer. I had no choice.
I can't believe we have no video of that gig.
We
or
have
any band
audio.
practice.
We have audio of it.
Back in the day, we do have a piece of audio, and I don't even know how we found it. And I've given it to the radio station. We've actually played it on the radio a couple of times. It's an old song, but yeah, it's like you hear my voice. I'm such a little whiny
our
kid
band?
of our
Yeah.
band. Yeah.
Oh, I need that audio.
No, you don't. You don't.
Yes, I do.
So
Like
okay.
if you don't want to sleep at night, okay, listen to it. He is such a there's the idea. You could go, I'm a singer in a band. You think you have some level of talent.
We were kids,
We were
man.
kids.
We were.
I
He has
understand.
stage presence.
Stage presence. Thank you.
Stage
Thank
With
you.
his mullet,
Yes, thank you.
and
Oh,
his
we
earring.
both had beautiful hair. What
Dude,
happened?
right, exactly.
I had girls would say, "I wish I had your hair."
That's
and I'm like,
right.
I hope they took that wish back.
Dude, I had bleached. It was like bleached blonde hair. I was telling. I forget who I was talking to earlier. I had earrings. I mean, dude, we were like skateboarder punks.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we were jam. We thought we were Nirvana.
Hey,
We thought
that night in East Brunswick,
we were Nirvana.
We were.
Yes.
We were as close
For
as they
those
were
2
gonna get.
hours in the house party.
We
2
were
hours of
Nirvana.
Erica's house party.
Yes.
Well, Joe, I don't think you know this, but so when Greg T left Z100, one of his last days, we were putting things together. So there is a band that actually has heard your music being
That's
played.
right. That's right.
We almost had Fall Out Boy record that song
That's a true story.
verbatim.
Yeah. Yeah, I swear to
We
you.
had a song. It wasn't just covers.
No, I swear to God, we really legitimately had a real song that I
You
wrote.
remember any of
It was
it?
all about being heartbroken, about the girlfriend, half asleep as morning turns to night, something like
I
that.
have to hear this.
I remember-
and Fall Out Boy was gonna redo it.
So we became very close friends with Fall Out Boy, and yeah. So
I
then,
kind of remember the time. Half asleep.
Right.
No,
Dude, we got to get Fall Out Boy to come in here. Can we still pull some strings? You think Fall Out Boy would want to come in and purchase a Mercedes?
I'm sure purchase, but hang out with us? No.
They wouldn't want to come in and hang out?
No.
Anyway, so it's okay. So I want to get back to this. So, Joe, how do we go, you and I, from that rock band? I go off to Fairleigh Dickinson. We never see each other again. And then from Fairleigh Dickinson, I go right to the radio station, and you become a professional comedian. How did that all happen?
Well, not right away.
Okay. So tell me about it.
I was still doing music after that. I played in a lot of bands in the 90s.
You did?
I was like a good fill-in musician for a lot of other bands.
Okay.
Like, they had a fallout and they had dates. I would
Yeah.
play bass, guitar, but then whatever. I just went to college and studied like TV.
Where'd you go to college?
First I went to Brookdale, then I went to William Patterson.
Okay.
And
I spent many drunken nights at William Patterson.
Yeah.
I did. Thank you very much, William Patterson. One day I woke up there one time with a fraternity brother, Jimmy Morford. Jimmy Morford and I woke up in the student union building of William Patterson, and I remember sitting there looking at Jimmy, and I go, "How the hell did we get here?" And I had no idea.
That when you were blue?
No, I was already in the fraternity already. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What, blue?
Oh, I told them stories when I pledged, how they painted me blue. Oh, please, it's a long story.
Send me the audio and pictures of that. I need all this.
I haven't seen the Smurf picture.
I have a lot of catching up to do on your life, and I need.
All right, come on. How do you become a comedian? How did it happen?
Well, it was. I loved comedy. I still see comedy all the time, but I didn't know how, you can do it.
Yeah.
I just always thought those guys were just the funniest people on the planet. I didn't know it was a craft.
You were born this way.
You were born this way, and everyone always said I was funny, but I never thought I could do that. But then I used to be involved with this organization, helping them put on like conventions and like programming them and getting comedians for them. And then one year, one of the guys in the committee's like, "Dude, you're pretty. Why don't you MC one of these comedy shows?"
Yeah.
So I was like, I messaged one of the comics I usually book.
Yeah.
He's actually a comic who was pretty well known in New York. He's passed since then. His name is Mike DiStefano. And I call him. I'm like, "Hey, Mike, listen, I just want to know if you'd mind if I was MC that night."
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, I'd love it. I love seeing people in pain."
Because the audience doesn't really know.
Hang out with him.
No, for real. No, when you walk up on stage for the very first time, it is frightening because you're standing over people that are having dinner or whatever there are, and then now you got to tell jokes. That is incredibly difficult.
Well, most people's first show is like an open mic night.
Right.
Mine was in front of 350 people.
Oh my
at a
God.
convention, but I had a little inside edge because I knew a lot of them, so I can write the inside jokes that work that night. So I got the bug. I started going to the Stress Factory for like open mic nights.
Yeah. Stress Factory.
For fun after work, and I'm like, and it just snowballed. Like I just met people, and then someone offered me some money to MC, and then, and 20 years later, I'm still doing it. And I'm doing it regularly, and I'm headlining Primetime Comedy Club Friday at the Americana.
That's awesome.
Restaurant.
Yeah, really. I think that's really great. The funny thing was, I'll tell you a little backstory. So, funny thing is, so when I met the owner of Primetime Comedy, and he had said, "Hey, can we do a Where to Go?"
Right.
Again, you guys can check it out on Instagram. Where to Go, WHERTAGO. We'll put it up there as a link as well. So when you go to Where to Go, so he says, "Can you do a Where to Go for me?" I said, "Sure, why not?" So I went there, and I quickly just did a little video.
It's good for business when people go, "Can you do it?" "Oh yeah, sure, no problem."
I'm trying to build a business. But then he sent me a bunch of comedians that are going to be there to put on the video. All of a sudden, I see Joe Fernandes pop up, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I know this kid! I can't believe this!" I called you a kid. We're like old men now at this point.
Because the promo says Joey Fernandez. Like
Joey Fernandez, right?
5 years old.
That's what we used to call it Joey Fernandez. Yeah. So then, it was actually my sister's. But wait, it goes back to my sister. It was actually her idea. My sister saw the video.
With the sister that he had a crush on?
Stacy, that's right. Saw the video, and she quickly calls me, and she goes, "Oh my God, you got to have Joe Fernandez on your show." And I said, "You think he'd want to come up here and do that? Like, he's a comedian now, I don't know." So I took the shot to see if he'd want to do it, and so be it. Here he is.
Thank you, Stacy.
It's really great.
Joe, are you in a relationship?
Yes.
All right.
He said married. He's married.
The only person getting in the way is Paul.
Oh, please. Right, yeah. So my sister's married as well. So
I know.
She lives in Marlboro.
Facebook friends. We're friends.
Everybody's Facebook friends. I think, listen, wait, it is that time, fellas. I got to make a quick stop down right now, if you don't mind. We got to pay some bills, Garrett. It is time for our Where to Goes. I'll bring you along, and I'll show you how we do the Where to Goes, Joe. All right, so we want to take a quick stop down. We want to thank, again, Food Emporium. Today's show sponsor is Food Emporium. They're at on Route 520 in Marlboro, New Jersey. They're also in Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, and they are catering Super Bowl parties this year.
Which is big.
That's all they want to do is talk about the Super Bowl. It's all they want to do.
Imagine showing up to a party and there's nothing.
You ever been to a party where there's nothing? What do you do Super Bowl Sunday?
I usually just go. My brother Chris, his birthday is the end of January,
Yeah.
so we usually have a birthday party
Yeah.
for him. And my niece her birthday's falling on Super Bowl Sunday, so we do a big family party.
Got it.
Birthday party. Super
I didn't know
Bowl
maybe
party.
you were hosting like some kind of a comedy event or whatever on Super Bowl Sunday.
No,
Yeah, at his house, at his
it's
family's house.
Comedy in Super
Yeah,
Bowl
does your family ask you to do stand-up when you're there?
No. They're fun. A lot of them are funnier than me, like in the room, you know what I mean?
He knows the feeling, though. He's been sitting at dinner tables, and they're like, Greg T, do something funny.
All right, so we want to thank Food Emporium for being today's show sponsor. All right, here we go. Our very first Where to Go, and this is really great. If you are shopping around, if you're shopping around for a caterer for your party, let's say you're throwing a party in your backyard, right? And you want somebody else to actually be there to be the bartender, take care of the food.
So you can
and
enjoy yourself.
Servers for Hire. Check them out. Servers for Hire. This woman, Vanessa, she started this business right out of her own kitchen. She started hosting, little events for like her neighbors and family. And then finally she convinced her husband, let's open up a business. So they opened up Servers for Hire. They are located right there in Manalapan, New Jersey. Call them at 732-580-0656. We have it there up on the screen as well. They do dessert, bartending, kitchen cleanup, formal plate dinners, and more. Servers for Hire.
And you know what? After you use a service like this, you end up using the same people, so then they become family.
Well, that is true. I agree, and they couldn't be any more nicer. They are just amazing people. So, Vanessa, big shout out to you at Servers for Hire. I think Vanessa's coming in. Lindsay she's coming in, right? One of our partners is here. If you guys hear me talk to people behind the camera, I have my business partners here with me. I have the show producer is here. Yeah, well,
you gotta love people that clean up your house.
Yeah, well, that's right.
That's a brilliant idea.
How could you not?
You're right.
So Lindsay, so she's coming? Not today. Right. All right, so we will have Vanessa in with us. All right, one more before we bring on another guest. All right, we got Tiger Schulman is in the house. So I know Tiger Schulman in East Brunswick, New Jersey. They are just awesome. I actually took a class there. Take any self-defense classes?
No.
No? Why not?
When you say you took a class, you just mean like one.
Well, dude, that's all I could take.
Maybe if I got asked to do manhunt with you, I probably would have taken one after that. Be like, I gotta. This Greg T is.
I knew this would. I should never even said manhunt. I knew it was going to follow me.
You set yourself up.
Well, listen, it's right in our hometown of East Brunswick, New Jersey. Remember Magnifico's, the ice cream place?
Yeah.
It's right next door to Magnifico's.
Okay.
So it is Tiger Schulman in East Brunswick on Route 18. And they're also offering beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes. They've got incredible instructors that are certified. Call them at 1-800-52-TIGER. Again, Tiger Schulman. Thank you very much for being along for the ride with us. Tiger Schulman. And then we're done. That's it. We got other ones on the other side. We're good for the other side. All right. So far, so good.
What, your show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, this is the part of the show where we give them confidence.
Okay.
We got a lot going
You're
on.
great at this, Greg.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, you should do it more often.
You know what? I tell everybody I got a face for radio. You know, don't use my joke everywhere. Face for radio.
Yeah, dude. Don't write that down on your pad.
Yeah, I'm using it tonight.
Hey, everybody.
What's your favorite place to do some comedy?
Actually, my home club that I perform most at is down in Jersey Shore at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club.
Oh, yeah?
I'm there a lot.
Okay.
Performing a lot of weeknight shows.
Yeah.
I'll be there in May on like a Friday, Saturday. But
Okay.
That's my main spot. But there's a lot of great rooms around here. I got to perform at Brad Garrett's out in Las Vegas this past year, which is one of the most beautiful places in the country.
Is it as rough as a lot of comedians say, where you're like sleeping in like these, dungy hotels trying to make ends meet because you're doing a show that night?
Yeah, but
it is.
Yeah, but I'm over it. Like if I go and there's a terrible hotel, I just drive home.
Gotcha.
I'm not bringing cockroaches.
But you've done it. But you've done that.
Oh yeah, I've been in some. Like it's always bad when they hand you like the metal key to
Right.
the door. That is.
You grew up in East Brunswick. You're used.
Yeah.
No, but I've talked to a lot of comedians, and the going stories that when you're on the road the first time when you're really starting out, you are sleeping in these dungy hotels, just trying to make. Yeah, really.
Because you're like, I'm in show business.
I'm doing it.
Doing it.
Yeah.
Because you're going from performing at open mic night at like a steakhouse.
Right.
to like you're doing a real club. It's a terrible room, but you're like, this is how you make it.
Yeah.
And then the 10th time you're at that hotel, you're like, I gotta figure another new move out.
I think you're right. Like, listen, when I started out in radio, I was willing to do club gigs and then go back to the radio station, sleep on the floor, just so that I could do the show the next morning. You know, you were doing it. You were young. You didn't know any better. You loved it.
It doesn't like regular people are like that's insane.
Yeah. Right.
Like, you're gonna drive 8 hours to do one show.
Now he sleeps at Mercedes.
I sleep here. I do love this place.
And this place, I feel it's like I felt weird walking in here. I felt they were gonna be like, sir, unemployment
Pretty
is
woman
across the street.
Pretty woman style.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I purchased my very first Mercedes from Ray Catena, and I was so scared. Like I put a button-down shirt on.
Yeah.
I wanted them to take me seriously.
That's his move. Like when he first meets people, like your job interview, when you came in, he dressed up in the suit.
That's right.
I've never seen this man in a suit before.
You only get one chance to make a first impression.
I know. That's why I didn't want to pull in with my Mitsubishi here. I'm like, I don't know if they're going to let me in here.
Parking at Chick-fil-A.
So they've already let us drive a couple of cars. 2 weeks ago, they let us drive a $200,000 vehicle. I mean, I was so scared. I'm like, and I was just driving in the parking lot. And I was freaking out that it was a $200,000 vehicle. I couldn't believe it.
To look and get too close to a $200,000.
It's a cool showroom for sure. I mean, the truck we're sitting right next to, this one is $180,000. That's a $180,000 vehicle right there.
His daughters drove that last week.
When I came in, I'm like, I have to do a lot of gigs at Primetime Comedy Club to get that car.
Yeah, so let me tell you. So you've never been to Primetime? It's first time, right?
Yeah, I think the club just opened like a month or so.
Let me tell you, it's really great. You get dinner there, you know, so you're gonna have a lot of folks like that are getting there at 7 and they're ordering great dinner. I think the place, the Americana, if I'm not mistaken, they hired some amazing chef. So the food is not like, you know, your bar food. You're getting legitimate great dinners, and then you just take the stage. And then I guess it's you and 2 other people, but you're the headliner.
Yep, I'm bringing my friend Angela Sharp. She's so funny. She plays guitar, writes these crazy songs.
That's great.
And my friend Tim Rager is going to MC. He's actually like headlining, but he agreed to come host because I wanted to bring killer acts for Butch for my first time at Primetime.
That's great. You're going to love it. You
I've
really
been
are.
trying to get him to do a solid 2 minutes.
I can't do it. I'm a jackass. I tell everybody.
If you prepare, you can.
I'm not a comedian, though. Everybody thinks, oh, Greg T, you're funny. I'm only funny, like, if we're sitting here talking like this, or if I'm doing something like a slapstick funny, but I'm not a comedian. There's an art to what you do.
Yeah, a lot of failure to figure out something. Because
Have you bombed? What was your
still bombed.
Where was your first big bomb?
Oh, my first big bomb. I mean, not counting open mics.
Yeah,
that's just
right.
asking for a bomb. But I was doing, actually, not far from here in Woodbridge, there was a Sheraton. They were doing comedy on like Saturday nights. I would MC a lot. So you get more stage time that way. And I'm up there, and they're like, listen, the headliner's running late. So you're going to have to do extra time.
Yeah.
At the time, I had 5 minutes if I was stretching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was, so, and I am bombing. Like
Crickets.
just talking to myself.
Yeah. How do you change it when you're bombing like that?
When you're new, you have nothing to
to fall back on. Right,
so
right.
I just kept talking, and then a guy from the bar goes, I just hear from the back of the bar, what are you doing up there? But like I'm so in my head that I don't know he's even talking to me.
Right.
He does this. Greg T does this.
And then he goes, you on the stage. Like he's like, I don't think he knows who I'm talking to.
Right.
What are you doing up there? And I'm just like a deer in headlights. I'm like, comedy? And then he goes, get off the stage. Well, luckily the next act walked in. I go, everybody having a good time tonight? And it was just so mortifying.
I remember years ago when Caroline's Comedy Club in New York City was open. They were hosting. I don't know what it was called. Some kind of like Laugh Across America. It was a whole month, and they were bringing certain acts in, and it was a big deal. So they had me host one night, and I'm thinking like, again, what will I do? I'm not a comedian, so I came up with a plan to try to like take clothing off every time I came out to introduce the next act. Oh, no. So I started out with like fully closed, and because that's where I always fall back on those stupid jackass stunts.
The slapstick.
Right, and then at the end I come out in a cardboard box, and everybody was like laughing and whatever. But that was the only thing. I'm not a comedian the way you guys do that. I just can't. Even when I went over to Primetime to film a Where to Go, I couldn't get the words out. All I said to them was, I'm so glad to be here. My wife is at a dance competition with my daughters, and then everybody started laughing. I'm like, that's not funny. I don't get it. But whatever.
Yeah, you could be if you wanted to. It takes a lot of pain to
solid 60 seconds.
I mean, I'm sure when you first went on radio, you weren't like killing it, and then you got the hang of it.
You know what? For me, it was always just being a jackass, and that's what got me through the door. It's just, would he sit ass naked on an ice block to give away air conditioners? Yeah, I'll do it. No problem. Will he eat something and throw up? Yep, I'll do it. Will he run around naked? Yep, I'll do it. No problem. So that's what I did. I've always been that guy to make ends meet by I've been the show pony, You give me some circus music, man, and I'm doing it.
It was a better career path, trust me. You have to go to these awful.
Hey, were you painting before you got here?
You don't like, dude, listen, I've got shirts that I've had forever. So
you save them for painting?
I love this.
You have a drawer of shirts?
So today, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to wear this, but it's funny you point that out. As I was leaving the house, Trish, my wife, she goes, are you really going there with the painting shirt on? And I said, Trish.
So you're wearing your painting shirt?
I said, it's 1 hour. I'm going to be there. So I got paint on it. That's me. I'm a regular guy, She's like, I cannot believe you're going to interview Ernie Anastos and have Joe Fernandes there, your first guest, and you got paint on your shirt. I'm like, yeah.
We do look like we're construction. We got the flannel. You got your paint.
Listen, no big show here. This is what you get. It is what it is with Greg T Live. It is what you get.
Do you think Ernie Anastos had paint on his suit when he ever did the news?
You know what? It's about time. We're going to ask him in just a second. We're going to bring him on. And I do want to take one little quick stop to congratulate Ray Catena. So over the weekend, Ray Catena was given a massive award. And I want to stop down to say thank you for having us here and to also congratulate Ray Catena as well.
Imagine where would be if we didn't have Ray Catena.
Oh, I know exactly where I'd be. I already checked out Lindsay. Right? So Lindsay, my business partner, and I, we were looking for places to do the podcast, and friends of mine found a place for me. So I was going to podcast in the back of a plumber's store. So he was a plumber. I swear, he runs a plumbing store right out of there. But then at night, he's a rap artist, and he does he records his music. So I went and looked at that place, and that's where it was on Route 9 in Howell. They had graffiti all over the walls, and I'm thinking, man, I really fell far. This is really rough. This is roughing it. So then when Ray Catena came aboard, I was kind of like, oh my God, thank you so much. This is beautiful. A little bit better step up than the showroom
store.
Yeah, the plumber's. Anyway, so Ray Catena was given an award. Ray Catena Mercedes-Benz of Edison. This store that we are in, they just won the Best of the Best award, and it's their second time winning it in a row. So it's MB USA, Mercedes-Benz USA for 2024, and they've got tons of awards displayed here. But congratulations to Doug Wells, the general manager here. They also won the Star Sales Manager Award of 2024 as well. So congratulations.
You would wish sports teams would do that. You win an award and automatically you're expanding.
That would be great.
That'd be great if the Giants or the Yankees did that. The Mets are trying,
Well, the Mets are going to have a great year. Are we talking sports?
Again.
Give us a call right now. We're on the hotline. We're talking sports. Give us a ring. We're talking about the Mets season. Are the Mets going to have a good season or not? Joe Fernandes, are you a Mets fan?
Hell no.
Hell no. Do you root for the Yanks?
Oh, yeah.
You're a root for the Yankees.
I was taught to follow winners by my family.
See, that's why I'm a Giants fan. I'm following the winners, Yep. Or I was a Cowboy fan in the beginning.
My brother became a Cowboys fan. My
That's
younger
right.
brother, because they were hot when he was young.
That's right. We were the same
age. He grew up in a
age.
Giants house.
That's what I'm saying. You see? Me and his brother Mike, man, we were Cowboy fans. All right, let's bring on our next guest. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am really excited. I know Garrett's really excited. Joe, stick around. Do not go anywhere.
Right.
We'll have a lot of fun with him. But ladies and gentlemen, you want to grab a seat? Okay, here we go. My producer of the show is grabbing a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, he is an Emmy Award-winning newscaster. He was from ABC, Eyewitness News, from Fox 5, also CBS, also now 77 WABC Radio, and now Positively America. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Ernie Anastos. Ernie Anastos.
Oh, my goodness. How are you, guys?
Ernie.
Good to see you all.
Very nice.
What a
Very
pleasure.
nice.
What a pleasure.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, so we're doing both audio and visual.
We're doing
That's
it
right.
all, sir.
Wow, this is the best.
Yeah.
You
So,
know, I love the energy.
yeah?
Because I was watching you and listening, and I'm saying, you know what? When the host has that kind of energy, just coming on strong, I love it.
Well,
Because you control
I love his energy.
the feel. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, guys.
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
move in a little closer here.
Come on.
How's this? Like
Are
an
we
anchor
good?
desk.
Producers,
okay?
producers,
We're
we're
all
good?
co-anchoring here.
We're all good? We're in cameras? Everybody's still? We're right? All right. We got to check. It's all live. It's all
What a
happening
joy
live.
to be here, Greg.
Thank you so much, Ernie. It really is. I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you, my friend.
When Mercedes, when we sat down to make sure that this all was going to happen, that we were going to do the podcast here, Mercedes said to me, we have, some celebrities that have bought cars from us that if you're open to it, we'd love to have you on.
Yeah.
And immediately the very first one was we have Ernie Anastos. And I stopped, and I'm
Hello?
like, I go, wait. I go, the Ernie Anastos?
Oh,
and no,
of course you
and I'm not just saying that's for real, because Garrett and I were talking about it, growing up. Give him the comparison you gave earlier before he got here.
So for me, my parents, grew up with Walter Cronkite.
Oh, sure.
But for me, it was you.
Thank you.
My mom worked at WABC for many of years.
Oh, did she really?
Early 80s, mid 80s, 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
So I've had the honor of getting to meet you when I was yay big.
And your mom was at Channel 7?
Channel 7.
Really? What was her name?
Maureen Vogel.
I think I remember Maureen.
Yep, she's probably
Oh, my
Facebook friends
God.
with you. But
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, so
And you came to the studio?
I've been to the studio many of times. I used to play on the set of Regis and Kathy Lee.
Oh, sure. It was opposite.
Yeah,
yeah.
right behind the studio.
Yeah,
And so I got to grow up with you.
And
watch you deliver the news like as if you were my next door neighbor.
You know what? So many people. And I'm moved by this, will say to me, Ernie, I was watching you growing up as a kid, and now my kids have been watching you.
Yeah.
And I mean, that really is a lot of history for me when I think about the impact. And a lot of people, believe it or not, have said, I learned to speak English.
Oh, wow.
Listening to you. I came to this country, didn't know English, and I watched you, and I liked your diction, and I was able to really understand the language better. I mean, these are personal things that make me feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from reporting the news and covering all of the major stories, but having a personal connection, one-on-one with people. I mean, I walk down the street. I can't tell you how humbled I am. And people will just yell out my name. Hey, Ernie.
Yeah.
I mean, and I feel that I did my job and continue to do it by connecting with people and letting them know that I'm not anything special.
You are, though.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm like you.
I know what you're saying. You're saying that you are very humbled, you understand the audience. You could be everybody's neighbor.
I do.
And right, you're a piece of New York City, and you live your life like everybody else, and I get that. I do. But when people see you, though, you are a living legend. You really are. Ernie.
I like the word living.
But this has not been my day. Not been my day. But
He's a man of words, Ernie. He's a man of words.
You are a legend, and
Thank you.
it's hard, I guess, to see yourself in the mirror as a legend. No, I don't think any legend really sees themselves as a legend, and you have to be told that you are, because, and especially yourself, how humble you are. There's no way that you're going to go, I'm Ernie Anastos, and I'm a legend.
But you know what, Greg? I'll tell you something. This is very important for people to understand.
Do it.
When you think about why a person feels the way they do, when I was a kid, I was like 10, 11 years old, and I would sit underneath the kitchen table with the radio.
Yeah.
And I would listen to the radio, and I'd hear the announcer. True story. And I would listen, and then I would turn it down, and then I would pretend, well, here we are now, we're doing this, we're doing that. And then the music would come up, and I would turn it up. And I would play like a disc jockey. And I said, this is great, I love it. By the time I was 13, I built a little radio station down in the basement.
Oh, wow.
Had a couple of turntables.
That's great.
There was a guy that was in radio who lived across the street. He brought me some news copy, and I would do that with my friends. At 16, I went to the local radio station, and I knocked on the door, and the guy said, come on in. And I said, can I, sweep the floors and do a few things here? He said, no. He said, I like your voice. Sit down and read for me. So I sat down and I read. And he said to me, I'm starting a show called Saturday Morning Discussion. And we're going to be interviewing teenagers, and you're going to be the host.
Wow.
So at 16 years old, here I am. I got my own little radio show on the weekend. Then they made me an announcer. Cut a long story short, it doesn't matter where I am, whether I'm at 7, 2, or 5, talking to millions of people. I'm telling you the God's truth. I'm still downstairs in the basement. I'm still down there at that little radio station,
underneath the
and
table.
underneath that little table, the combination, and that's where I'm at in my mind. So as a result of all of that, I look at it and I say, hey, you know what? Thank you, God, for giving me such a great gift to be able to use that in a positive way, and I still feel like a kid. I love Greek philosophy.
I mean, that is.
I hope you're taking all this in.
I can't believe that Ernie Anastos is being so real right now, sitting down. Like, this is.
But these are true stories, and you're the same way. You guys are honest.
Thanks.
And I was going to mention about a Greek philosopher who once had a great line. He said, I have a wish to die young, but as late in life as possible.
That's great.
And
That's
I
great.
love that, because you know what? If you have a youthful heart,
Yeah.
a youthful spirit, if you still feel there are things to do, I haven't done all of that, and you still have a passion and an excitement and an enthusiasm for life, That's it.
Yeah, I get you.
That's the answer right
Wow.
there. Yeah.
Ernie, I mean, I don't even know what to say. This is
You're the second person to make him cry on this.
I'm holding it back. I'm really holding it back because
Thank you, buddy.
I appreciate when you can let your guard down and we can have a normal conversation and be as real as this. You know, coming from a man like yourself with such prestigious awards, and you know, it's humbling to hear you talk like this and to give me these true stories. So thank you very much for that.
You know, one of the nicest compliments that someone can pay you.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of friends of mine that I've grown up with and people that I've gone to high school with. And we've talked and we've met and we've seen each other recently. And they said, you haven't changed.
It's awesome.
And when you hear that, you know, it makes you feel good because you say, you know what? I'm still the person, you know, that I was years ago.
Yeah.
And no matter what success you may have in
Yep.
life, which is all fleeting, we know that.
Yeah.
You're still the same human being. You still appreciate life.
I mean, this is, right? I
Well,
mean,
Ernie, let's check in because these two grew up with each other. They were in a rock band. They thought
Right.
they were gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
famous.
This is Joe Fernandes, comedian. He'll be at
Joe,
prime
I'm
time this
listening to you.
weekend.
Great.
And
So,
but
Joe, has he changed at all?
I'm same guy.
Same guy.
Yeah, all right, there we go.
Same guy.
We
Same guy.
haven't seen each other in 20 years. I walk in, it was as if we saw each other yesterday.
See, I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great compliment.
You know, Ernie, I do want to ask one question
Sure.
to you. You know, sorry, excuse me.
Sure.
You know, media has so changed. I mean, it's so divisive these days.
Amazing.
You know, how do you see it the way it was when you were there, giving us the true news of what was happening? You were giving it good news, bad news. It didn't matter. There was no divisiveness when you were doing news.
Right.
So today, though, I mean, it has broken down those lines. Give me your thoughts on what's happening today
you know,
with
it's funny. You
the media
mentioned
news.
Walter Cronkite.
Right.
I was honored that Walter was a mentor, a friend, and I spent a lot of time with him. And I remember in those days, we only had basically 3 networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC. And, you know, people were just accustomed and used to just watching one broadcast.
Yeah.
We didn't have the early morning news. We didn't have any of this. We have a plethora of information out there. The question that comes up in today's world of media, is it news or views? What are we listening to?
It's almost like they're just all talk shows.
Yeah.
Everybody. There's nobody's giving me, you know, like down the line bad, good news. They're not. Everybody is swayed no matter what. You can hear it in their voice, in their dialect. You can hear it in the way that they pronounce a certain word, how they stress it. News is always it's always one way or the other these days.
Well, you know, in the early days, the Cronkite days, you know, you weren't supposed to show any kind of an emotion on the air. I mean, you read the news, you delivered the stories. Cronkite had a great line. He said to me, you know, he said, in our business, he said, we are watchdogs.
Yeah.
We're not lapdogs and we're not attack dogs. We're watchdogs.
Yeah.
We bark and we let people hear what's going on and respond to what's going on. You know what, guys? We've been in the business a long time. It's changed dramatically.
Right.
And I think, you know, realistically, competition is what created all of this.
Right.
Because as soon as we had this explosion of the media, you name it, from cable to the internet,
It's everywhere.
one thing after another,
That's
podcasts
right.
and so forth, it's changed so dramatically that you can't recognize it anymore. Will it ever go back? I don't think so.
Do you still read a newspaper?
Yeah, I do sometimes.
You do.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you still.
Most
are
of the
you,
time, it's on the phone.
Right. That's everything's on the phone. That's please. It's exactly what's going on with what I'm building right now.
Yeah.
Same thing. You know. So what I've done is I've designed this thing called Where to Go for small businesses because it's like where to go and who is reading newspapers. I don't know anymore. You know. Even I get with these little shoppers. You know, with coupons.
Right.
Who's reading those?
Right.
When they throw them on your driveway and you got to go get them.
And for you, Ernie, you started out where everyone was glued to the newspaper, glued to the television. They trusted you. You were this trusted voice.
Yeah.
And now look at where we are today. We're doing a podcast in a Catena Mercedes-Benz showroom.
You know what's interesting too is that in the older days, you had to have knowledge of what was going on. We would be in the newsroom, and if you're writing a story, typing it, you'd be sitting there and you'd say, wait a minute, who was governor in 1964?
Yeah.
And somebody out there in the newsroom would give you one answer. Today, you don't have that knowledge. Today, everybody goes to the phone, and there it is.
That's
and
it.
you don't have to remember or really know anything for a long time. Everything is short term.
And now you're starting to live on the social media aspect. So tell everybody where they can find you on social media, because I was pretty surprised at what you're doing now.
Well, I'll tell you something. Having done the news in New York 4 decades.
Right.
4 decades.
Yeah.
You've seen it all.
Started in 78.
I mean, now you're transitioning with this. This is crazy.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
but I think it's important to keep up with what's going on.
Yeah.
But 4 decades on the air of reporting the news, and I've covered every story. And the interesting thing about it is that I've been a witness to history and to human history as well. And by having that honor and that privilege, I've learned a lot from that. So I still respect the fundamental way of reporting the news. I have always walked that straight line. I've never wanted to be leaning towards one political party or an opinion. In my opinion, when I interviewed anybody or talked to them, even today, it's just, what is your answer?
Sure.
What do you think? And if I have to pose a question that's a serious question, I'll phrase it in a way so that I'm not trying to make myself the star. In other words, I'll say, so-and-so, there are people who are criticizing your viewpoint on this issue. It's a pretty serious one. How do you answer them? How do you respond to that?
Interesting.
See, to me, when I do that, I'm a
We need
journalist.
pointers. We need pointers, bro.
Yeah.
This is not the way I'm handling it at all. This is great. I need this.
I hope you're taking notes.
Yeah, I know, right. That's a great way to do things.
It is. And with all due respect to a lot of the reporters that are on there, really trying to do a good job, and many are friends of mine, I think if you take away the opportunity, if you will, in many ways, to make yourself the star, but it's changed dramatically, not only in the world of journalism, in the world of sports. My goodness, the money that's out there,
Yeah,
the
everything's
money, the
changed.
fame, the endorsements.
Yeah.
Money does drive so much. I think we know that.
Oh, please. It's all about money. I agree.
And with competition, every channel, every platform that you have wants to be seen and heard.
That's right.
So they sit there, and we know how it works. Okay, what are we going to do today?
That's right.
How can we keep this thing going 24/7?
That's what it is.
As opposed to the old days where you had 2 broadcasts, and that was it.
You're 100% correct. It is so, honestly, to even build a company today, you got to be on every single social media platform.
Yeah.
You've got to always be coming up with new content to give away to the audience.
Sure.
It is so difficult, I think, today's day. It's not that easy to build a company with social media, but that's the way everything is, and that's where it's going today.
And to go back to what you were asking me about, Greg, having done the news for 4 decades, COVID struck in 2020.
Right.
It was a change.
Yep.
And I decided to take a break, took a break from doing the news. I did a year at Harvard Business School studying, leadership, and came back from that program. And I said, you know what? I've been on the air all these years and going on the evening news and saying, good evening, and then telling people why it wasn't.
Yeah.
Feeding them with all these negative stories. And I said, you know what? We can't change that. I mean, whatever the news is, it is. I would never censor that. But I said, I want to have a positive spin to what's going on. If there's a problem, what's the solution?
Right. Yeah.
What's being done about it? How are we making it better? Instead of just dumping everything on people. The HUT level, homes using television, has dropped dramatically, particularly late at night. People don't want to watch anymore because it's frustrating, it's annoying,
That's right.
It's stressful.
I can't have the TV on anymore when we're sitting down having dinner with the family because I'm trying to listen to my daughters have stories, and I hear the news in the background, and you're right, it's all just negative, no matter what it is. Yeah. I just, at some point, now we've made a rule just like no TV at all. Like, let's just get back down to, the ground, down to our roots. Right, talk to each other. Exactly.
And
hey, we did have 5 days of no stabbings, no shootings.
So what I did was I created 2 programs.
Yeah.
Created a program called Positively America.
I like it.
Positively America is my own syndicated show.
Nice.
We're on about 200 TV stations across the country. It's
great.
Pix 11 picked it up here in New York on Sundays.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice job.
So it's a half-hour show on the weekends. And then my good friend John Katsimatidis at WABC Radio, we got together, and I have something called Positively Ernie.
I like it.
So every day, if you listen to the station, I'll come on and I'll say, I'm following stories in the news and what people are talking about with a positive viewpoint.
That's great.
Bullying is a problem.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. What's being done about it? And I'll talk to an expert about the programs that are out there. I could be talking about social issues, financial issues, family issues,
Right.
personal relationships. But I'm looking for ways, and people are responding to it, which I love because I feel that I'm doing something to help.
Yeah. Well, because you make everybody feel so comfortable, nobody's, and they trust what you're saying. They trusted you for so many years. And like you said, like Garrett and I, and Joe, we've grown up watching you. So
Trust.
that's it. Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, that's so important. You know what? And if you lose your credibility, if you lose your trust, you've lost everything.
Yep. You're right. You're right.
And it takes a long time to gain that trust.
No, you're right. You're absolutely correct. Listen, my entire career, I have always done it with a handshake and a kiss on the cheek and just said, I always wanted to make sure that I was always, I want to make people feel like, they can count on me, that I'm their neighbor.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that's taking out the trash just like everybody else. I could get your mail when you're not home. I'll check on your house. And that's the way. I've never been somebody different that the audience couldn't relate with. I always wanted to be trustworthy.
Can I bring up something else?
Please do.
And this is something that is important to me, and I think people understand it. I am a spiritual person.
Okay.
And what does that mean? It means that I believe that there is a creator for all mankind, for everything living, everything that we see. And as a result, when I have that feeling and that understanding and deep belief, this is the kind of thing that I want to impart with everyone. You know why? Because if you understand that, then you look at somebody eyeball to eyeball and you say, we're brothers. We belong to the same family. I respect you. I have a love and a kindness towards you. How short is life? How short is it? I mean, we dangle sometimes. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we take it for granted.
You want to live as long as you can.
Right.
But the point is that, life is short. What are you going to do? At the end of the road, you're going to be really asking one question. Who did I love and who loved me? That's simple.
I'm holding him back, bro. I'm holding him back. It's Ernie, I'm going through so much right now that hearing you speak, it's really hitting home. It's really hitting home. So thank you. Because I wake up every day and ask these
But that's
same
important,
questions.
though, Greg, for us to understand, to be able to look at one another and say, you know what, you're my sister, you're my brother, and I'm going to have respect for you and kindness. And if we do that, we can change things. We can change things. We have the power and the ability to do it.
Maybe it took all this to have this podcast
is just
for this
amazing.
moment for you to have some realization.
Well, I just want to say thank you, Ernie. This has been just a breath of fresh air having you on the podcast today. And I know that you had so much to get done today. And I'm glad that you were here today to make a little bit of extra time for us. We're just a lonely little podcast, and who knows where this is going to go.
I want to pick Ernie's brain for 1 second.
Sure,
the man
go ahead.
has been doing news for 4 decades.
Yeah.
You have done and reported on it all. So if you were put together a Mount Rushmore of your 4 stories,
oh my God,
that you enjoyed covering the most.
Great question.
I mean,
wow.
you talked about history and seeing and reporting on it all.
Right.
Could you even start?
The Mount Rushmore of news stories that you covered.
That's a great line. No, I'll tell you something. Probably, and I know everybody will agree, the most powerful story that I've covered was 9/11.
Yep, of course.
Right.
9/11 was like earth-shaking.
Absolutely.
I mean, I remember waking up in the morning. I watched the TV. As soon as that story broke, bingo, I'm in my car. Was on the air for months.
Oh, sure.
Reporting that, going down to ground zero.
Yep.
The personal stories, the loss of life, and everything that went with it was so powerful. And I remember covering the story for maybe a month or 2, and I was in the newsroom, and we ended up going into my office, about 3 or 4 reporters and a couple of anchors. And at one point, we started talking, and we started to cry.
Wow.
Because the emotion had built up so much.
Yep.
It was probably the most
It was so
powerful
hard
story.
to see and understand what you're witnessing right in front of you.
Yeah.
We were both on the radio that morning as well. So I was out and about on the streets covering something else.
Yeah.
So when this whole thing happened, it was just mind blowing.
Yeah.
I was actually supposed to be there.
He was in Connecticut.
But I was supposed to be there that morning.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be there.
Wow.
Luckily enough, me and Elvis Duran had a disagreement on what we wanted to do that morning.
Okay.
So instead of going there and doing this little funny bit, they decided to send me way out to Long Island to do a bit out there in Long Island. So I was out on Long Island, and I remember somebody going, "I don't think they're coming back to you, man. Something happened at the World Trade Center."
Wow.
And then that was the end of it. And just trying to get back and witnessing and living through it, it was really just emotional.
We'll go back to 1980.
Yeah, do it.
I remember I had a friend of mine visiting, and the Channel 7 studios are at Lincoln Center.
Yep.
So we were taking a walk, and we were walking by the Dakota.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
And I'm walking by the Dakota, and my friend says to me, "This is a famous building." I said, "Yeah, you know who lives here? John Lennon." I said, really? Yeah, John. And we were standing there looking at the gate and talking about Lennon and the Beatles and so forth. And I walked back to the studio. An hour later, I'm on the air announcing the assassination, the shooting.
Wow.
And as a result of that horrible story, we had a large broadcast from Central Park. It was a big tribute to Lennon, and I hosted that. And I was on the air. Cousin Brucey was with me.
Wow.
Great guy, Bruce Morrow. Talking about the future,
This is so, to hear you say these names and tell you these stories, it's like, it just, it's just like we're garbage here. We're nothing compared to these guys.
No, don't
it's
say
just
that.
amazing. I can't believe this is like a waste of your time being here a part of this podcast right now. Seriously.
I'm going to tell you a cute story.
I mean, listen to these. I mean, it's the Hall of Fame names that you're just throwing around and the times that you were there and the things that you did.
Thank you.
Really, it's amazing.
Well, I'm honored by
I am honored by having you
the
here.
The fact that I was there to witness it. Cute story. One time I was invited to a luncheon, and there were only about 10 people there. And sitting at the head of the table was a very interesting man, Alfred Hitchcock. So Hitchcock is here.
I mean, this is...
And I'm here.
Yeah.
Now, we're having
Was
a little...
it just his silhouette?
Big man. He had that wonderful robot.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening, yes.
So I said, Mr. Hitchcock, I said, I have to ask you something. I said, all of these things that you've done, movies and your television show, all of these plots and these storylines, how do you come up with all of these ideas? And he said, they come to me at the most inopportune time.
Wow.
And I said, what do you mean? He said, many times I can just have an idea pop into my head. And I said, so what do? He said, I write it down. Okay, this is before the phone.
Right.
I write it down. And I said, you write it down? Yes. I said, that's fascinating. And then there was a pause, like a dead pause. And he reached into his pocket, I swear.
Okay.
And he pulled out a bunch of crumpled pieces of paper.
Right there.
Slammed it on the desk, and he said, the future.
Wow. Interesting.
And I said, what was in there? The birds? What was in there?
Wow.
Something, yeah.
But, that was a personal story. And to me, I'll always remember that. And I've interviewed so many people over the years, all the presidents, so many actors and so many celebrities. But to me, the best interviews are the one-on-one with just people.
Yep.
I interviewed a woman who's 104 years old.
Right,
and
real
she
people.
And she was so excited about life and politics and what the future would bring. To me, that is the heart of what I do.
Normally they say it's chicken wings and beer that keep them alive, right?
Any early predictions on the Super Bowl? You got the Chiefs and you got the Eagles.
It's a repeat.
It is. Yeah. What do you think?
A lot of people last night, I was watching the game too, thought that Buffalo was going to pull it off.
I thought so too. I thought Buffalo was
so close.
Yeah. Again, they always do. They always do.
But Ernie, like you just said, living through history, the Chiefs can win 3 in a row, which has never been done before.
See, I think they're going to do it.
You do. Gotcha. There you go. You heard it right there.
We're going to watch. Everybody will be watching.
I have to tell you, even though I know the Eagles are just so damn good, I just think, they just, the Chiefs know what they're doing. They've got the game plan. They've been there, done that already. So my money's on the Chiefs as well.
Well, I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember this.
Okay.
My wife will tell you, she's here, that I do remember people and experiences. This was really wonderful. I feel like I was sitting down talking to a bunch of buddies.
That's it.
Real, genuine, and we had a nice time, and I'm going to remember this. You guys are from the heart.
Hitchcock,
Ernie,
you're
right.
Hitchcock, then
From the heart.
And every single president that's served. Unreal. Ladies and gentlemen, again, it's Ernie Anastos. And Ernie, I couldn't be more excited and happy that you spent some time with us.
Thank you so much. God bless you all, okay?
Ernie, thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Loved
Unreal.
Loved it.
Speechless at times, right? It's like you're talking to you. It's just amazing. How do we pick up and finish up the podcast from this?
You have to. You can't just stop.
Jeez. Oh my gosh. In radio, at least you can go to a commercial break.
Yes.
And you can play some commercials, play a song.
You go to commercial break. You're reading your own commercial.
I mean, this is what we got to do here now, right? So now, this is I don't know, Joe. Thank you first for being here. What'd you learn from Ernie Anastos?
I was just in awe watching him over there because I was so used to seeing him on my TV screen.
It was like watching the news live.
So I'm I'm sitting there and I kept having things I was like wanted to say. And I'm like, just enjoy this moment. Just you're
no, it is. You're right. That's one of those moments.
You're seeing a guy give you all this great knowledge and history.
And he didn't notice the paint shirt.
Yeah, I didn't even.
Did, but he's always looking for the positive. He's always looking.
I was just in awe by what he could say and the stories he has. I mean, imagine that he's talked to so many presidents and covered so many. What a great question, a Mount Rushmore of news stories. You can't even choose them. I mean,
Presidents.
Listen,
I mean,
I'm
the
sure.
John Lennon story, and then he's here with us.
Wow. Just awesome. Really. I got to tell you, I'm floored. I'm floored by it. All right, listen, we are really behind, though. We do have to get to some sponsors. I hate to do this to you guys. Stick around, please. We got to get to just a couple more things, but we do have some sponsors. Without a doubt, we've got to take care of the sponsors. So first and foremost, again, our show sponsor is Food Emporium. They're located on Route 520 in Marlboro, New Jersey. You can find them at Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island as well, and they are catering for the Super Bowl this year. Also, thank you.
Get your wings there.
Get your wings there. Thank you to Abate Bakery and to Lou's Brew. Like I said earlier in the show, we are going to have the 15-year-old entrepreneur who started Lou's Brew. We will have them there with us as well. And again, Abate Bakery, who has catered breakfast today. I can't wait to have some of the goodness there. All right, we have to thank Lavotes today. So Lavotes also ready to cater your Super Bowl party. You shop at Lavotes?
Yes.
What do you like at Lavotes?
Everything. The imported cheeses,
You seem like a cheese guy.
He likes the imported cheeses. I love that. No, listen, Lavotes is fan. It's our go-to for
What's
our
your favorite
family.
cheese?
Oh, my Dubliner. I love Dubliner cheese. I'm a big fan of Dubliner cheese. I really am. I love it. I don't know why. But anyway, you can find Lavotes in Brick. The one in Brick is the one we were at, where they have the big liquor store there now. They gave us the keys to the van. They're like, just drive the Lavotes van anywhere you want.
Joe, they let him drive the van.
Yeah.
The online rumors that swirled
Yeah.
from that moment he got behind a wheel.
They all thought that was my next job.
They thought that he was working at Lavotes. All he did
Close.
was post a picture.
Close. So they are in Bricktown. They're in Englishtown, Aberdeen, Freehold, and Middletown, New Jersey. I actually shop at all of them. I every single one of them.
Go to all of them.
I was.
They have everything in.
I was in the one in Matawan yesterday. I was in Lavotes in Matawan. Had to get dinner ready prepared
That's the
for
kind of
us.
supporter he is, though.
It's not like they have different cheese at each one.
Really? So again, if you are taking care of your Super Bowl party this year, Lavotes is also they are catering. All right, this is another big where to go.
Bobos.
No. How fun? Hear that, Lindsay? Lindsay and I got corrected. So I checked with Lindsay. It is Bob O's. Bob, not Bubbo's, or not Bobo, it's just Bob O's. Bobbo's?
Cheesesteaks.
Right. Bobbo's Cheesesteaks. Bobbo's Cheesesteaks, they have been ranked best cheesesteak in Bergen County, New Jersey. Bobbo's has been open since 2020. The kid grew up in Ridgefield, New Jersey.
Yep.
And he decided, you know what, I'm not going to go too far from home. Just decided to open up a cheesesteak place right there in Ridgefield, New Jersey. So he does everything in his hometown. His name's Tommy. Tommy's working there right now, and he's watching us. So, Tommy, thank you very much for being a sponsor of today's show. It is Bobbo's Cheesesteaks.
You know how I learned about Bobbo's cheesesteaks?
How?
Post Malone has been there.
Really?
He's had Bobbo's cheesesteaks.
Lindsay, did you know this? Lindsay did not know this. Why not?
Post Malone has been there while he was on tour.
You like Post Malone?
I love Post Malone. I do. I really do.
Any good celebrities that you've been on stage with?
Oh, yeah. I've opened for Sebastian up
No,
at Foxwoods.
you did.
Like
Get
10
out of
years
here.
ago.
Really?
Before he was Arena Sebastian.
Wow.
But
Okay,
He was
gotcha.
on the come up, and he was
Yeah.
a great guy to hang with for a weekend.
That's got to be great, hanging out with Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah.
We don't hang out with guys like that. That'd be
I
so
don't hang
nice.
out with him anymore.
Oh, my God.
You got a friend you grew up with, and you're just slapping him in the face.
Well, he hung out with, that's pretty nice that he hangs out with those guys. All right, but again, yeah, Bobbo's Cheesesteaks in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. You can find him on Instagram at Bob O's with the S Cheesesteaks on Instagram. They are on Main Street in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Bobbo's Cheesesteaks, and he will be here. We are going to have Bobbo's on the show with us, and he's going to bring some cheesesteaks in, and we will have a chance to sit down and talk to him as well, and enjoy his cheesesteaks live on the podcast. They are really awesome. I go to his Instagram, and I'm like, dude, I want to eat through. When are they going to invent me to be able to like reach in to my phone and like grab what I see and eat it?
Well, give up this podcast and
That's
start.
what America needs.
Also, we got to say where to go. I want to ask you guys a question. What is the color of the tomato?
Red.
Red tomato. So
Are you
red.
trying to make this a thing with their marketing?
First of all, they didn't even, let me stop down for a second. Let me just tell you something. It's all about marketing, is it not?
Yes.
All about marketing.
Right, it's all about marketing. I mean, when he goes on stage, he doesn't want somebody to go, and here he is now, it's Joe. You know, like, he's got to be somebody. He's Joe Fernandes. You got to hear his name everywhere.
And then they go, who?
Same thing with Red Tomato. So when I talked to Red Tomato, I talked to the owner, and
Who, Anthony or Alex?
I talked to both of them, but Anthony I talked to especially, and I said, you know, what's your goal? And his goal was to get the name out to everybody. Red Tomato. He's like, I don't know how many people know me, that I'm here. You know, I want people to know. So I came up with this idea. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stand in front of your place. I'm going to ask all your patrons, and I'm going to ask them the question, what color is the tomato? And they're going to shout out red tomato.
Red tomato.
There you go. So, Joe, when I ask you, what color is the tomato?
Red.
Red tomato. There you go.
Joe's ex-girlfriend just texted in.
Uh-oh.
My sister? Oh, my gosh, please. I can't even. I'm not going to go there yet.
My first grade crush. What is she saying about my
loving it.
on her brother's
So
podcast?
check out Red Tomato. That is where to go. They are serving Marlboro, Colts Neck, Manalapan, New Jersey, also Matawan. Check them out, Red Tomato. And they are also catering this year's Super Bowl party. So if you're having one and you're looking for the wings and the cold subs, paninis, and more, check them out. It is Red Tomato in Marlboro.
NJ.com.
Yeah. Go to redtomatonj.com. Thanks for saving that. I didn't even see my own writing at the end of it. redtomatonj.com. Last but not least, it is Juliet's Goodies. Juliet's Goodies, the T-shirts that I'm giving away today. And here's how you're gonna get the T-shirts. I'm giving away 2 T-shirts with 2 Arizona prize packs. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to Greg T Live on Instagram, and I want you to message me GTL. So you're going to win the T-shirts by saying GTL. I will randomly select somebody, and then I'll announce it on Thursday on Greg T Live.
And they're
on
literally
Instagram.
coming from you.
They are. I had to go to the post office this past week. I had to actually pay for shipping and handling. Yeah, by the way, you should be getting your packages either today or tomorrow. That's what they told me. There is a winner, though. I had to send it all the way to California. Well, because anybody can listen to the podcast.
Of course, and watch.
So this one woman won from California. And so, guys, if we can keep it like in New Jersey, New York, that'd be better because it costs a lot more to go out to California. It would be a lot helpful if you can just keep it there in New Jersey or New York. All right. So any closing words, Joe?
Where are we seeing Joe this
Joe is going to be at Primetime.
Primetime Comedy Club in East Windsor, New Jersey.
Yep. And you're going to have a great time. You really will.
This Friday.
Friday night, doors open up at 7. Show begins at 8 o'clock. And really, get your reservations today. I got to tell you, I don't even know. I would guarantee that you're sold out. I'm not kidding. The way it is over there.
I'm open. That'd be nice.
I'm telling you right now, fingers crossed, but I would guarantee that he's probably sold out. It has become so popular. You know, Primetime.
My brother Mike will be there.
Is he coming?
He's coming now.
Oh, dude, I got to see Mike again.
Stacy should come.
My sister should go there. We should all be.
Let's make it an East Brunswick reunion.
And then play Manhunt right after you're done.
Hey, isn't it funny when you go back to East Brunswick reunions with some of your old high school friends?
I did it for the first time.
You did?
Reunion.
Where'd you guys go?
It was at that hotel in New Brunswick.
Yeah.
And I got caught lying that I remembered people. They're like, these people come up to like, you remember me? I'm like, of course I do. And I said it's like 2 people. Then the third guy called me out. He's like, you don't remember me, do you? I'm like, I better stop. This is gonna get real awkward quick.
It is. You know, you have kids and I have kids. I try to tell them all the time. I go, these friends that you're calling friends, like you're never gonna see them again. You'll see them at a random reunion, and that's gonna be it. You won't even recognize them. They don't believe me. They have no idea. They don't believe me.
Yeah, if you keep 2 or 3, that's
seriously,
that's a lot.
That's you're not even kidding yourself. I have literally kept up with maybe I'd say 3 high school friends, and honestly, maybe 2 fraternity brothers. Other than that, it's like that's it. Like everybody just goes their own way.
If it wasn't for social media, I'd probably have none of them in my life. I like really.
Do you get nervous if you see a familiar face in the crowd?
I don't. You know, it's just this weird thing in the world and cosmic energy that if like people that I know from my past, like we're coming to see you tonight.
Yeah,
I guarantee you the rest of the audience is gonna be weird.
Yeah.
Like it's just, or my mom comes and she'll be like, can I come? Like she came this past Saturday. I'm like, fine, but sit where I can't see you because there's certain things I can't say. And see my mother laugh at.
You know, I was thinking that if your mother's there, do you go on stage and just it's
drop? It's a job.
You're dropping F-bombs and everything.
I'm not really like a dirty comic, but there's some things you don't want to say to around your mom.
Right.
But if I know she's there, that's fine. But if I see her giggling, I'm like, stop it. Just stop. I
swear. I broke the mold with my mom. You know, we did so many things to her. We tortured her. You know, when I was on the radio I had a marching band come through that house. So there's really like nothing I could say anymore.
Stripper.
Yeah, we had a male stripper come to the house for her. Was it Mother's Day or for her birthday?
Mother's Day.
Her Mother's Day for the Mother's Day weekend.
I should do that. For
I brought in a male stripper for the house. Right, my mother ran into the bathroom, locked the bathroom door, wouldn't come out, and she's yelling through the door, "Whoever you are, I don't need this. I'm sorry. And it was really hysterical. So yeah, you know what? Get your mother a male stripper for Mother's Day. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Do you mind if I promote my podcast on your podcast?
Joe, that's why you're here. I want you
All right,
to. Please do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you have a podcast now. What's your podcast called, and where do I find it?
It's called If You Would Have Told Me. You know, we don't go live.
Okay.
But it's on all the podcasting apps. You can watch the video on Spotify or YouTube. We do
Okay.
full video, 3-camera shoot. Me and my friend Emily Page, very funny comic.
Okay.
We used to always, in the green rooms at comedy clubs, make fun of people that post on social media. There's always like some basic story, but it was always like, if you would have told me.
Yeah.
And we always making fun of people like that. So we always thought it was a good name.
I like it.
So it's like a story-based podcast where we'll tell stories. We'll find the weirdest news stories to make fun of, and then we'll improv stories for fun. We do something called One Word Improv. We try and create stories. So we try to keep it very fun and light.
That's great, though. That's a great idea.
We have one rule,
word,
no politics. That's it.
Yeah, I like that. No, hey, listen, we will not be talking politics here at all. But I love that one word improv. That's fantastic.
So we each go back and forth with one word and
tell a story.
We try and make it up. Like
try it with him.
Give me the one word.
So like we start off sometimes with the name of the podcast. So I'll go, if you would have
told
me,
I'd be sitting here today doing a podcast.
No, one word.
Right.
He's not a rule follower.
But I get it. That's the thing. If you would have told me years ago that I would not be on the radio right now and I'd be podcasting from the Ray Catena Mercedes-Benz showroom, I would have said, "There's no way. You're crazy. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. Why would I not be on the radio today? There's just it's the craziest thing.
what you were born to do.
That's exactly it. I woke up this morning and I said, I cannot believe that I'm actually listening to other people on the radio. I don't know why I'm not on the radio right now. This is crazy. I know
Soon
why.
enough.
Soon enough, we will be able to tell everybody why. We will tell everybody the truth of what happened. As of right now, my lawyers, my agent have still said, you cannot tell anybody, you cannot talk about this. It's just crazy. Anyway, I like that idea. It's great.
I'm a fan of your podcast.
Are you?
I watched the episode you sent me. I loved watching your daughters roast you. I was like,
I loved it too.
I got to tell Greg, I'm like, you should bring that back quarterly at minimum. This is the roast of Dad.
Yeah.
And then
you'll be happy to know you are my first real guest. Well, because the first episode, I had Elvis, right? I mean, does he count as the first guest? We had Elvis Duran.
You know how guests work.
Yeah, I get it.
He's pretty
But I mean, but we worked with Elvis. I grew up with Elvis, so that having
if you
Elvis
knew them like that close, they're
right.
not guests.
And I mean, we did have Doug Wells, who was the general manager of the place.
You were the first guest of this show.
Well, like the first, kind of like the first guest.
I'm the first guest today.
That's right. And Ernie Anastos was the second guest. Yeah, I think that's the way it goes. All right. Well, listen, guys, we got to wrap things up here. The guys behind the cameras are looking at me like, "Let's go." I get it. Lindsay, I apologize for running too long. Go back to episode 1. You'll meet Lindsay. We got to bring Lindsay in on another episode. Dude, we didn't get a chance to talk about.
You didn't show your stupid UFO photos.
Oh, you got to do that.
It's just unbelievable, the UFO story. I wanted to dive in I want to talk about influencers. I want to talk about how does it bother you that there are people that go out to stores, eat in their cars, and they're like, an aficionado about how great some kind of food is. Think about that.
I know.
These are influencers. They have no credibility whatsoever. They literally go to a store. They come out with some kind of a sandwich. They sit in their car. They eat their sandwich. They talk to the camera, right? Because they're too scared to do it in front of everybody. So they do it in their car, hidden away from everybody because they're cowards because they can't go in front of people, right? And they eat the sandwich. I'm not going to mention any names. Josh, food and stuff. Okay, but anyway, they eat their stuff, right? And then they become aficionados about the food. They're like, this is great. The moisture, it's so great. I love the roll is right on. You have no credibility. They have no credibility. And yet they're being these influencers out there telling people.
He's got his first 2 minutes.
I'm serious. But
I'm just jealous that they don't have to hook up any wires and
right.
mics and no production.
These
I would love to go in my car, eat a cookie, and blow
right.
up on the internet. Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They are literally taking advantage of all of these business owners. They go into a business. They go, hey, look, I've got 100,000 followers. Which, by the way, they don't know where these followers are from. They could be from Nebraska. So that doesn't help anybody here in New Jersey. Yeah. What does that help Ray Catena if you've got people from Nebraska that are watching you? What does that do for Ray Catena in Edison, New Jersey?
Ray Catena will sell to people in Nebraska.
They certainly will.
Take a trip. up here.
But I mean, I wanted to talk about this today. We didn't get a chance to.
Well, we gotta go.
About these influencers. So that's just one of them that just ticks me off. I can't stand it. He goes in his car, eats a sandwich. And then he goes, oh, this is delicious. And we're supposed to take his word for it.
Yeah, but there was probably people when you started that were before you. Like, you believe this guy?
Do you believe this guy on the radio is sitting on a block of ice right now, giving a
and they thought you were the influencer of your day, but you didn't have anything to influence.
You're exactly correct.
Social media.
You're right. There was no social media when I started. There was no social media. I was just telling somebody today. I was Jackass before MTV had Jackass.
Right.
I was doing all those stunts, riding my skateboard down a hill into oncoming traffic. We were doing all kinds of crazy
Born
stunts.
too soon.
That's right.
You have lots to do to catch up with Joe though later. He has to hear a lot of your stories.
All right. Well, listen. Can we write it down and can we remember that next week?
You do write it down. What's the matter?
But I want to talk about it next week. I want to talk about these influencers.
Mitch is about to go bald from pulling out all his hair.
Like Meg things. I cannot stomach any more videos by Meg things. I can't do it. She goes into stores when no one's around and she does one of these. I love this. And then she goes into these stores and goes, great, I love this. I mean, she's another big influencer, 200,000 followers and no credibility whatsoever. She's at these restaurants, but you ever look around? She's in the restaurants when nobody's there. Because none of these influencers can do it in front of people. That's what bothers me.
We have no time to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway.
It annoys me so much.
Show's over, but I'm keep on going.
Listen, we made a living at doing things in front of people. I get it. Right? We have a live audience here that the cameras can't see, but still, we're doing things live. We're putting our faces out there. These people are hiding. They're hiding in their cars, and then they're giving reviews, or they go to restaurants when nobody's there. I mean, it's ridiculous.
We should get them on, and you two hash it out.
You know what? I would do it. I would get them on, and I would tell them straight out. I'd be like, I don't like what you do.
Because I don't think you would tell them to their face.
I absolutely would. Let's book them. Let's book some influencers. Let's bring them up here. I don't care. Let's bring them up here, and we'll ask them. What made you become an influencer, and what makes you think that you're God? Your voice is God.
They just did it, and they hit, and they're like, "This is great."
But you know what's going to happen? They're going to walk out of here with a Mercedes.
They will not.
I support them, though. I mean, a lot of these kids.
All right, so we got.
Come on, end
please,
it up. Let's go.
Influencers for next week. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about the UFOs that I saw.
They'll be here by the time we tell that story.
No, for real. Listen, the UFOs. I've got to show you. I saw 20 of them in a row, in a line, straight as an arrow, and I took these pictures of them. I got to show you. I don't know why we haven't done it yet, but anyway. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, I'm Greg T.
Garrett.
Joe Fernandes. Go see him this Friday night. He'll be at Primetime Comedy Club in East Windsor, New Jersey at the Americana Kitchen and Bar. Primetime is in the back. Make your reservations today. 7 o'clock doors open. 8 o'clock show begins. Funny. I can't believe we haven't seen each other in 20 years.
It's great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, I'm sorry. There you go.
Touch your mic.
I turned your mic off. He talks to me.
I'm going to keep on talking. Not enough.
Enough for having me on.
I love it. Guys, we are live from Ray Catena Mercedes-Benz in Edison, New Jersey, every single Monday at 11 a.m. And please, come on in. The doors are open. We do it in front of a live audience every single Monday.
Subscribe. Invest in us.
Subscribe, and invest. That'd be great. Thanks. All right, bro. We are out. Ladies and gentlemen, peace. I love you all. I really do. I love you, Mom. And Patrick, I miss you, bro.